Assalamu alaikum. This is Prapunti Chakraborty welcoming you all to the English news from BTV Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. Bangladesh and Pakistan seek to strengthen commercial and diplomatic ties as their relations enter a new phase. Importance of Foreign Service Academy and Economic Diplomacy, Expatriate Services, and World Peace highlighted on Foreign Service Day celebration. MV Carnival cruise equipped with day-night ferry service opens new gateway for tourism and goods transportation in Island District, Bhola. U.S. airstrikes on Yemen's Ras Isa oil port kill at least 38 people. And Bangladesh to face off host Pakistan in final match of ICC Women's World Cup qualifier in Lahore. Viewers, those were the headlines. Now moving on to the details. Following the fall of the faceless Sheikh Hasina government, Bangladesh and Pakistan relationships has entered a new phase. Alongside other changes in the country, both nations are now seeking to strengthen their commercial and diplomatic ties. As part of this effort, the Foreign Secretary level meeting between Bangladesh and Pakistan was held in Dhaka yesterday, the first in nearly 15 years. Bangladesh has expressed its desire to establish a positive and constructive relationship with Pakistan in various areas of cooperation, including trade and commerce. Additionally, Bangladesh has officially demanded an apology from Pakistan for the genocide committed by its army and armed forces during the 1971 Liberation War, along with 4.52 billion US dollars in pre-independence dues. Bangladesh and business leaders and economists believe that joint initiatives could significantly increase bilateral trade, benefiting both countries equally. However, despite having great potential challenges such as visa complications and customs-related barriers continue to pose major obstacles to trade and investment between the two nations. Experts opine that if bilateral relations normalize and trade expands, new avenues of opportunity will open up for both sides. Foreign Service Day is being celebrated today through various formalities. Foreign Affairs Advisor Mohammad Tawhid Hussain joined the discussion at the Foreign Service Academy in the capital today. Senior officials of the Foreign Ministry, former and current diplomats, were present. Speakers on the occasion said that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Bangladesh has established itself as a modern, dynamic, and multidimensional institution. Speakers highlighted the importance of Foreign Service Academy in economic diplomacy, expatriate services, climate change, and world peace. The former diplomats recalled those who worked for independence abroad during the Liberation War. The MV Carnival cruise, equipped with a day-night ferry service, has opened up a new gateway for tourism and goods transportation in the Island District of Bhola. Passengers can now travel to Bhola with their personal vehicles on board. The Carnival cruise can simultaneously transport up to 25 private cars and 12 to 15 large vehicles or trucks. Additionally, the second and third floors feature 57 air-conditioned cabins and 180 chair seats for passengers. This service has enabled traders to quickly transport goods produced in Bhola to the capital and vice versa. As perishable goods and fish can now be transported from Bhola to Dhaka in a short time, demand for the service is steadily increasing. The Bangladesh Inland Water Transport Authority (BIWTA) has stated that the special launch service has already proven its operational capability. Although there are some issues, steps are being taken to resolve them. Launched under private initiative, the Carnival cruise is playing a vital role in expanding trade and commerce between the island district of Bhola and the capital city Dhaka. Now, international news. Airstrikes by the United States on Yemen's Ras Isa oil port have killed at least 74 people in what is one of the deadliest attacks on the country by U.S. forces. Houthi-affiliated media Al Misarif TV said the strikes on Thursday also wounded 171 people, citing the country's Hodeidah Health Office. The Houthis have been in a decade-long civil war and are now facing attacks from the U.S. The U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, said the airstrikes were intended to cut off funding and resources to the Houthis. The U.S. airstrikes hit several different areas, but were most concentrated around the port facility. The U.S. attack has drawn widespread condemnation across Yemen due to civilian deaths and the strategic importance of Ras Isa. Al-Attab also said around 70% of Yemen's imports and 80% of its humanitarian assistance passes through the ports of Ras Isa, Hodeidah, and Al-Salif. Hamas has formally rejected Israel's latest ceasefire offer, saying it is prepared to immediately negotiate a deal that would see the release of all remaining hostages in return for an end to the war and the release of Palestinian prisoners. In a video statement, Hamas chief negotiator Khalil al-Hayya said that they would not accept partial deals that serve Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's political agenda. 59 hostages remain in captivity and 42 are thought to be alive. Israel's latest offer involved a 45-day ceasefire in return for the release of 10 hostages. Far-right Israeli Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich said it was time to open the gates to hell on Hamas. Hamas official had already indicated to the BBC earlier in the week that they would reject the plan. Khalil al-Hayya said the group was ready to immediately negotiate a deal to swap all hostages with an agreed number of Palestinians jailed by Israel and end the war. Hamas has previously said it would contemplate an overall deal to end the war, but the two sides are nowhere near any kind of agreement that would bring that about. Israel's statement aim is that complete disarmament and destruction of Hamas. Meanwhile, dozens of Gazans are dying each day in airstrikes with no humanitarian aid entering the strip at all. Gaza's health ministry said at least 51,065 Palestinians have been confirmed dead and 116,505 wounded in Israel's war on Gaza since it began 18 months ago. Russia's Supreme Court lifted a ban on Afghanistan's ruling Taliban, a group that was designated as a terrorist organization more than 2 decades ago. The Taliban were put on Russia's list of terrorist organizations in 2003, making any contact with them punishable under Russian law. The court's ruling on a request by the Prosecutor General's office followed last year's adoption of a law stipulating that the official designation as a terrorist organization could be suspended by a court. The former Soviet Union fought a 10-year war in Afghanistan that ended with Moscow withdrawing its troops in 1989. Russian officials have recently been emphasizing the need to engage with the Taliban to help stabilize Afghanistan. In recent years, the Central Asian nations of Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan have removed the Taliban from their list of terrorist groups. The Taliban seized power in Afghanistan in August 2021 as U.S. and NATO troops were in the final weeks of withdrawing from the country after 2 decades so war. Now, sports news. Cricket. Bangladesh will face host Pakistan tomorrow in their final match of the ICC Women's World Cup qualifier in Lahore. The match will start at 10:30 a.m. Bangladesh time. Bangladesh has already defeated Thailand, Ireland, and Scotland, but lost to the West Indies in the 4th match yesterday. With this loss, Bangladesh is in 2nd place in the table with 6 points from 4 matches with 3 wins and 1 loss. Bangladesh will get a ticket to the World Cup if they beat Pakistan in the last match of the league stage. If lose, in that case, the points and run rates of the other teams will be calculated.